I'm here with EC Diskin. Her latest novel, Broken Grace, has been called an exceptional thriller. Welcome, EC, or Elizabeth.
Hi, thanks for having me.
So let's jump right into Broken Grace. Tell us about it.
Broken Grace is the story of a girl who suffers a serious car accident within just the first moments of the book. And you fast forward, then a week later, she wakes in the hospital, and her life has sort of become a black hole. She suffered traumatic brain injury. She remembers nothing, and the doctors are all very confident this is temporary, this will come back, go home, recover with your sister, who she doesn't even know. But she goes home with her sister, and within about an hour, the police arrive, and they're not there because of her car accident. They're there because a man has been killed, and the man, it turns out, was Grace's live-in boyfriend. So she looks a bit suspicious, and she can't really provide an alibi because she can't remember anything. So it is one of these mysterious situations where they're going to investigate her while she really investigates herself and her own life and tries to figure out what happened and who she is.
Now, it sounds like it's pretty fast-paced.
It is quite fast-paced. That's what I like to do. That's what I hope is what readers will come to expect from me. I'm the kind of person who is a huge movie fan, and I love thrillers, I love cliffhangers, I love edge-of-your-seat kind of stories, and I get distracted by life very easily myself. I've read some wonderful novels that are probably New York Times bestsellers that I put down and I haven't finished if life gets in the way. So my goal with this story and with any story I write is really to prevent my readers from ever putting it down. You know, I figure if they put it down, there's the danger that they might not pick it back up. So I like to keep things moving.
Okay, and I'm sure you have some techniques for that. How do you do that?
I do. I don't know if I learned this somewhere or it's just kind of instinctive when you're writing, but I never want to end a chapter at sort of a good point. You want to end with a hanger, like, you know, so the person has to find out, wait a second, and move on to that next chapter. So I like to sort of drop a bomb and then say chapter 2. You know? So that's kind of fun for me.
Okay, so tell us a little bit more about your characters. And this one, I know you were saying that when we were talking earlier that your characters are slightly different in this novel.
Well, this novel, yes, I really wanted to explore the dark side to a certain extent, and I wanted my characters to all have various shades of gray. I didn't really want good guys and bad guys. I wanted everyone to be a suspect in the nature of a mystery. You really never know who done it, as they say. So everyone's going to have various shades of gray, but I really liked the idea of having readers figure out, you know, you might do something bad, but does that make you a bad person? Does that make you a murderer? You know, trying to determine who's who. And Grace being a 20-year-old, I figure 20-year-olds make a lot of mistakes, do a lot of things wrong at that time in life. It doesn't necessarily mean you can trust your judgments about them. You know, they're still figuring it all out. So.
Mm-hmm. So when you're thinking about characters as a 20-year-old, are you going back to some other aspects of your own life?
Sure.
Or?
Yeah. I mean, I've made tons of mistakes. So I can think back to my own life. And, you know, my first book was probably more drawn from my own life. This was much more just sort of my imagination running loose. But I did wait tables a lot when I was much younger, and Grace is a waitress in her, you know, previous car accident life. And, you know, so I could draw on those moments for myself. But these characters are really all just wild imagination going on in there.
Okay, and so you were saying that you also like to research a lot when it comes to your books.
Yes. It's a lot of fun. I mean, that's what I learned when I was a lawyer in my previous life. And though I did not relish some things about that job, I did love research and writing. And it really wasn't until I was in law school and I was doing so much writing that I realized how fun it was for me. So when I get taken with a story idea, I immediately want to hit the internet and see, I want to be sure everything's accurate, that I'm not taking total leaps into the wild blue yonder. So I will research what I'm doing. And then they tend to take me down a black hole sometimes. But it's always very surprising. I learn things that I didn't know, and I incorporate them into the story. There's some drug culture that goes on in this book. A lot of I didn't know anything about, but I will research it. I find out, this whole culture of people ordering psychotropic drugs on the internet, and I find out, oh, I've got to put that in. So, it's fun.